can't really decenter men until you decenter your friends who center men, or they'll screw you over bad. I really need to learn how to play that. Let me tell you something. If you keep pouring into these women who center men, they're gonna break your heart. They're gonna break your heart again and again and again until they do that work themselves. I'm not saying you can't give them some grace. I'm not saying we're not all on the same journey on some level. If you're a woman raised under patriarchy or were raised as a woman or a femme, you know this stuff is deep. There's no way of getting out of this without somehow centering men, right? Even if you don't date them. It might be your dad, your brother, your friend, your coworker, whatever form it takes. It's in there. The media you consume, look for it. It's there. Let's talk about friendships, because a lot of women are having to learn how to be better friends in this decentering men thing. Because men take up so much time and energy and are so distracting that once we stop focusing on them so much, we start to see, A, how much more time we have, B, how much more money we have, C, love to give, right? Resources to share, because we will bail men out of things all the time and not give that same energy to women sometimes. They're just helpless little boys, and they need us to take care of them. Meanwhile, our women are like unhoused and all kinds of terrible things because of domestic violence and things that men have put them through. But we will donate to an old man that a college woman meets who gave her tea and raised $400,000. Would you do that for a homeless woman though? Unhoused woman? I don't know. Some of us actually might not. We have to ask ourselves this. And it's like, oh, we gotta do like a serious 180, right? Let me tell you where it starts. Not only are you gonna screw up your friendships with other women who are decentering men if you don't do this work, you're also gonna screw up your relationships with men if you date them. Let me show you how. Most of all, it's going to destroy your own sense of self and your self-respect. Okay, it ain't worth it, but let's get into it. This is for dear Carolyn. This is the what the hell mail. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. My second opinion of columnist. My column of a column. Carolyn, last weekend I canceled plans a beach day with my friend of 30 years because I was invited to go away for the weekend. This was the first time the guy I had, there it is, right there. The guy I had spent this much time to get, okay. I speed read these because I want to discover things with y'all. If I pronounce things wrong, blah, 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 I don't care because I'm doing this with y'all. First time the guy and I have spent this much time together. What's that got to do with it, lady? I texted early Saturday. Okay, Saturday. Is that the day that you were going to the beach? I'm guessing it is. I texted early Saturday to cancel on my friend, apologizing, saying, I hope you understand. Oh, that's not an apology. You know what that is? Do you know, children know this one very well. Men know this one very well. I mean, all humans know this. We can see right through this. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, because permission means she might be like, that's not cool. I'm not okay with that. And then you have to make a decision. Do I screw over my friend and face the consequences? Or do I maybe disappoint a man I literally just met? Clearly. Or that I'm barely started dating. And with that little social contract, you are making a decision and knowing what the consequence is. But by doing this, being like, hey, sorry, I can't go. Hope you understand. You're asking for forgiveness before you've even done it. Not permission. Not like she has to give you permission, but not running by her. And the kind thing, I don't like nice. Nice people are mean. The kind, good friend thing to do would have been like, hey, I really want to do this. but I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to bail on you. I don't want to disappoint you. So I'm running it by you. I mean, but even still, you shouldn't be doing this. I'm against doing this. She could now. What is she supposed to do now? It's the day of. Early Saturday. What does that mean? Like 11:59 or something? Like what? Better yet, maybe you woke up at like 5 a.m. and sent this and then left on your flight or your road trip. So there's no turning back. All I know is you knew exactly what you're doing here. You knew exactly what you're doing here. And this is the most non-apology apology. This is not, I'm sorry. This is like, all he says, I hope you understand. You didn't even say I'm sorry. I mean, according to you, because you put quotes, right? But you're not even talking about her feelings. These kinds of apologies are so annoying. La 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 la, it's nothing about her. You don't even say, all you say is, I hope you understand. Let's fill in the rest of that sentence. I hope you understand that I'm a pick-me who prioritizes men over my friendships with women, even ones that are 30 years long, which means you are probably the most important person in my life, have stuck around more than any man. I hope you understand. You know what I mean? Oh, wait. Do you hear that? He does it every time he falls asleep. He goes, It's like sleeping in a room with a bear. Aha! I chose the bear. Well, I have, not really in that scenario, but call back. Grizzle to my YouTube ladies who, I forget who did that. Still think about it all the time. They said that on my live. You had to be there, I guess. Well, you can go watch the live. It's in my playlist. Anyway, the point is that you didn't even talk about her. The only time you mentioned the noun you is connected to a verb that is about you, not her. You know what I mean? Oh God, that didn't make sense, but you get it. She responded that she didn't understand and couldn't believe I was canceling for a guy. Okay, this is a girl's girl right here. That's the kind of friend I want. Who's like, what? No. For a dude you just met, that's right? This is someone, you know why this person is a good friend? Besides 30 years? This right here is the best kind of friend you can have. They're being honest. This is not a people-pleasing response, right? This is not, happy, hey, oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's all good, and then I'm going to be passive-aggressive with you later. Or worse, take it out on someone else. But as it's good, huh? Nope. This is somebody who will be honest with you. Honest friends, thoughtful but honest, will help you grow and learn and become a better person. I recognize that immediately with Liz, my BFF, one of my soulmates, and I recognize that immediately with Anthony. Liz taught me through my 20-year, literally almost to the day, we're celebrating 20 years of friendship. She taught me how important this quality is. Now, I don't know what the tone was. I don't know if something else was said, but this right here, Liz is so direct with me. She's so honest. She's so thoughtful. She phrases it in a way that's not like, right? And realizing how important that was to me, that I could grow and learn and become a better person and show up as a better person because someone's going to point out when I'm being selfish and then I won't do it again, right? But B, she taught me that this is what women can be. Women should be. Because I'm from the South. I'm a white woman from the South. And this is what we're supposed to be. Hey. And then full of rage, right? That we hide. And then use against anyone we have power over, historically. Which is why we are little terrorists when we do that. Not little, don't mean to minimize it. This kind of attitude is bad for everybody. For you, for your friends, for the community at large. Whereas this is how you have healthy relationships, healthy community, and how you establish a sense of safety and trust, right? You can't do that with somebody who's like, no, I don't mind it all. Go ahead and hang out with that guy. That's fine. I don't want that. You want that? Liz showed me that this way right here, you can live with so much more integrity. And this is what gives you a shot at feeling and giving love, not performing. Okay, I'm being a little too hard on her because Judge Judy is pissed. that she just needs people to like her so much. See, this is the little voice in me that's like, you suck. You suck because you're so judgmental. You suck because you're la la la, la 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 la, right? So before I get too ahead of myself, being really hard on her, these people are dangerous, okay? This girl's dangerous, dangerous. And that's a trauma response, Judy, okay? Oh my God, I feel crazy, but this is literally what I'm dealing with in my head. So why not put it into puppets? Because now I'm judging Judge Judy. You judging yourself. Anyway, the point is we got to stop doing this, y'all. If you are a people pleaser like me, super far on this end of the codependency spectrum, if you don't work on that, you're going to ruin your life. You're going to ruin all your relationships. You're going to take away any chance at having fulfilling, honest relationships based on love and trust, because she is like, no, don't abandon me, or hit me, or whatever had happened to you. But people pleasing Patty, God, that's a lot. I don't know if I want to call her that. This would be an ironic protector. The thing she's trying to protect you against actually is going to have the opposite effect. So if you do all this, no, it doesn't bother me, it's going to bite you in the butt. And what you're trying to protect, you will actually lose. That relationship you're trying to protect by pretending and playing this show, you will lose that relationship because you're doing that. Or you will be in that relationship and it sucks because you can't even be yourself. And that honestly is worse than being abandoned, is being in a relationship where you have abandoned yourself. Self-abandonment is way worse to me than someone abandoning me. Way worse. And yet, those of us who grew up in family systems were with a narcissist, an addict, an abuser, or fill in the blank, where your survival depended on you abandoning what you thought was best for you or what you needed and to please this person who has all power over you, that you'll literally die if they just decide not to feed you one day, right? When self-abandonment is a survival mechanism to like not die as a child or whatever, it's really handy. Good for you for staying alive. But once you're an adult, this thing will like destroy you. It is the worst feeling in the world. And it takes a lot of work to unlearn that. I have gotten way off track, but I hope my little puppet IFS was somewhat helpful, if not entertaining. Let's get back into it. I apologized again, but that was all. Okay. Your apologies suck. Stop doing this. I would rather have no apology than two like that. And one of my mentors in Brooklyn, when I lived in New York, was a 74-year-old woman. I still love her to death. She's the first person who called me out on this. I'm happy to go into more detail, but I apologized as soon as I showed up at her place late. It was not my fault. Like, literally, we were trapped in a tunnel in the subway. There's nothing I could do. Didn't have cell phone service back then to be like, I'm going to be late. I was so afraid she was going to abandon me because she was mad at me that I was like, I'm so sorry. As soon as I woke up, or as soon as I got there, and she was like, are you though? Because it seems like all you're trying to do is shut me up. You don't even care what I have to say. You are so worried about me being mad at you and abandoning you that you don't even want to hear what I have to say. You don't even care about my feelings because your fear is more important than the impact of you being late on me is on my feelings. And I was like, well, God damn. She's right. I have never been called out so hard in my life because I started realizing that I manipulate people with apologies. Can you relate to that? A lot of us do this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Now, women have been taught to do this a lot. To be like, hey, sorry. Blah, blah, blah. We literally say sorry all the time for no reason. Or in the US we do. I have not heard it like, try Sweden. I had a woman dump a beer on me and wouldn't even say sorry. Like, the over sorry. I think it's a very British thing, or at least according to National Lampoon's European Vacation. Y'all remember pig in a poke? Da, 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 da. Oh my God, Melanie. Sorry. But in my understanding, British people tend to apologize a lot. And I know people in the US do this a lot, or at least my people, Southern white people, we do this a lot. But I think it's like a very, anyway, whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. It's a cultural thing a lot of times, but it is also what codependent, people-pleasing, trauma response-filled people do to shut the other person up because we're afraid of being abandoned, or in this case, being afraid of being called out. This comes across as so selfish, and people can see right through it. So whoever wrote in, I hope you realize you may have just lost a 30-year friendship over this. And it's about the guy, but even worse, it's about this. You don't care if it hurt her feelings. And that is very clear. So if I were her, I'd be taking some space from you and questioning my whole relationship with you. And if this is a friend who I know grows and learns from their mistakes, like truly grows and learns from their mistakes and doesn't have to be called out like more than once on stuff like this, then it would be different. But I'm guessing this is probably not the first time. My guess is this is the last time. How do I approach her? I don't want to plead my case. If she doesn't understand, then she's entitled to determine I made the wrong choice. You don't have a case to plead, honey. What's your case? Because it sounds like your case is prioritizing men over her. And it's not her fault. You have low standards. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. But I'd like our 30-year history to allow for forgiveness. That is contingent on what I just talked about. And I don't want this to be the end of our friendship. Well, it just might be. Here's the thing. This dude she just met will likely not work out. Most relationships don't work out, right? Unless you end up together forever. You know, like most relationships don't work out. That's why I'm married now, but I learned the hard way with the little homosexual who literally moved, the rail rider, rode the rails and moved in. Co-worker. And you know what I thought before I started dating him? I was like, chances are this won't work out. I have never been in a relationship at all, much less a healthy one. Chances are this won't work out. And I know by now not to take a dump in your own backyard, because then you have to look at it every day and step all over it. Bring poo-poo into the environment that everybody else is in. And I'm so tired of that metaphor, but you know what I mean. I literally got stuck in that relationship because I didn't want to cause any drama at work. I just needed to pretend like everything was okay for lots of reasons. I just remember thinking like, this is a pretty big risk, Melanie. Relationships usually don't work out. You really want to mess with your work environment over this rail rider? And then that moment of weakness, I was like, yeah, fork it. What's the worst that can happen? I almost died. So this right here, she doesn't know this guy. She is banking a 30-year friendship on a dude that this is the longest she's hung out with him is this weekend. I would love to know how long they've been dating. He's probably married. You know, he's probably like, let's hang out once a week for like months. And it's always, when his wife's away. And now he's got a work trip. Like, anyway, I'm being really cynical, but still. All that for a dude she just met. If this was a big deal, like let's say he was in the emergency room. Absolutely don't go to the beach. Let's say a major event that can't be changed. That, like, I'm not saying never. I am saying for this, And also, I've talked about this before, don't be too available for these men. You're literally like, yeah, I can go. Did you tell him you canceled your plans with your best friend for him? Because now what you've done, even if you haven't told him that, I hope you didn't. What you've done is told him that he has the upper hand now. That your relationship is about sacrifice, but only on your end, not his. Now you have shown him that you are desperate to pick me and will even fork over your best friend to hang out with him. Don't be this available, y'all. Don't be this available. You are screwing yourself so bad. And it's not about being hard to get. It's about having a full life that he can slowly work into. Not just being like, yeah, I've got nothing going on. Let's go out of town. I'm telling y'all, do not be too available for these men. You are literally signaling right out of the gate that you're going to center them and that he can just be the king baby, and he's gonna call the shot. You have already put yourself in the sidecar of his motorcycle adventure of life. Like, don't do this. In fact, a good test, like whatever you want to call it, is if he's like, hey, you want to go to the, you know what, actually, I already have plans. I would love to. How about another weekend? And then wait and see if he plans it again. If a guy really likes you, he's not going to just stop calling you because you're busy one Saturday. Right? If he doesn't call you again after that, he never really liked you anyway. He was just wanting to go away with someone and get some brown chicken, brown cow, right? He didn't like you. In fact, it'll signal to him that you have a full active life and, you know, boundaries with your time, and you appreciate your friends, and that you're not going to just drop everything. That signals to that man that you respect yourself and you respect your relationships. I can't tell you what a bad message this sends to men when you're like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go, right? And that's what she just did. So not only did she probably just lose a 30-year friendship, because my guess is that friend is reacting like that because this is not the first time. This is the last time. But she also just screwed herself for this new relationship. Let's see what Carolyn has to say to Anonymous. Anonymous, it was a crappy thing. Canceling on her at the last minute. Own that. Yes, Carolyn. Otherwise, the apologizing was hollow. I agree. 30 years is more important than standing her up once. But it still matters how you handle it, how honestly, how transparently, how sympathetically, how open-mindedly. Boom, Carolyn. Okay, so if you think you get a freebie, then say, I think after 30 years, I get a freebie. Am I wrong to think that? If you wouldn't like it if she ever did the same thing to you, then say, I told myself that after 30 years I had to get out of being a jerk-free card, but then I realized I would have hated your doing that to me. I mean, something like that. If you would have said to her, go be with your new date, we'll have a makeup beach day, then say so, while also acknowledging you shouldn't have assumed she'd feel the same way. 30 years and you didn't see her response coming? Ooh, Carolyn, you're onto something. I missed that. Why, Anonymous, are you so shocked by this? Is this her hitting her limits? Is this her maybe not standing up for herself or being honest with you because of her own patty people pleasing? I need a new name. Y'all help me name this doll. I like Judge Judy because, I mean, maybe if you've never seen that show in the U.S., it won't make sense. Or did you not see her response coming because you are too head over heels limerence, not love, with this dude and lied to yourself and you're behaving differently, right? Like, we need to see why did she not see this coming? Oh, that's such important context. I wish I knew. Short version, you're talking to me about forgiveness and exceptions when you need to be talking to her. But don't go in just to make your case. Exactly, because that's about winning. If you go into this trying to win, she's gonna sense that you're not sorry anyway. You just want to have your cake and eat it too. A 30-year friendship that is more like a sister than a friend. You want to have that friendship, but also prioritize a dude you literally just met over that. Like, you can't do that if you want this. And anybody who is friends with women who center men, we have been burned enough times to know not to mess with women like this. They break our hearts. They break our hearts. I allow for some grace. But if you don't take the lesson the first time and you keep doing this, you don't get a friendship with me, not a close one. We'll just like hang out among other friends kind of friends, but you don't get in the inner circle, because you're not reliable and you're using me as a placeholder. I could literally talk for hours about this. This is literally one of my core wounds, y'all. I am so sensitive to this that I've actually gone a little too extreme to prove that I'm not a woman who is going to ditch my friends. And I had to get checked on that because I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually being like absurd in how I'm like, no, I'm here for you. Like, anyway, I will tell that version on my Patreon. It's a longer story and a more personal story. That's a like top tier kind of story. But remind me to tell it, those of y'all who are following me there, because the ADHD brain forgets. So don't make your case. That just doubles down on whatever led her to take the offense. Oh, boom, right there. Go in to hear her out. See, that's what women are like. Don't go in there and try to shut her up. Sorry, but I was just blah 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 blah. I was only blah 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 because that's what I'm sound like a little turkey, turkey, just gobbling, not actually talking. Oh, look who has rolled over. That's an act of friendship. And next time, ask a friend first instead of dropping it in on her as a fait accompli. Oh, is that French? That looks like French. I have actually never heard this. Okay, I gotta ask Anthony about this. I feel real dumb, but whatever. Fait accompli? What? Oh, now I'm spiraling into my French shame. My shame monster's like, you don't know French well enough. Y'all, this puppet came with this around her neck. Should this be my shame puppet? I think so. Let her say, go, yay, have fun, even better. Okay, now I want to share what some of the people in Patreon said, because I every once in a while I'm going to send stuff and see what other people have to say. Because I realized I was getting very frustrated because I'd make these videos and I'd have a lot to say. And I think I make good points. And then some people in the comments will say some stuff and I'm like, dang it. That's such a good point, and I wish I could go back and make it. So now I'm sending some of these out to people on the upper two tiers of Patreon for them to comment. And I'm not. There's no guarantee, but I'm going to include some of the stuff in there. So I don't know if these people want to be anonymous or not. This is my number one pet peeve with women. I've been left behind so many times for some guy they just met. Boom. Me too. One friend missed my 40th birthday to spend the weekend with a guy she'd met a couple of times. That's unforgivable, y'all. I only had one 40th birthday party. She could have gone another weekend. Mel will like, that's right. Mel will like this. He was a rafting guide. She never saw him again. And is happily married to a really great guy. See, y'all, see this right here? If you screw your friends over for a dude, especially one you literally just met, it's almost like karmically, either A, he will pick you and he sucks, or he won't pick you. In which case, whether he sucks or is awesome, you still have to deal with being rejected. Although this seems like a blessing right here. Okay, the other thing, so she's talking about up there is when women will do one thing for guys in their lives and not do it for you, right? Because you need to ask yourself this question. Would you blow off a date with a guy that you really like to go hang out last minute with your best friend? That doesn't happen very often. Unless it's a guy you don't like, and he's just a placeholder and you don't care. Or there's a good reason, it's like something big, or she's in the hospital, whatever, right? But under normal circumstances, most women do not blow off men they're really into at the last minute on the morning of to go hang out with their best friend. They usually don't do that because that's usually not the problem. It's this. And so she goes on to say she went vegan for a few years after we met. The number of times she has hounded me to become a vegan. Meanwhile, she was buying and cooking meat for these dudes. She worked with the overlapper and would stock the fridge with meats and snacks for him. She can buy and cook meat for a man, but told me not to send her pictures of my meals with meat. What? I just refuse to believe that my awesome ass is worth a fraction of some new random. That right there. That is the message that women are sending. That's what you're saying to your friend. If you hold them to a different standard than this random dude who has probably done nothing for you, you are saying she's not worth this loser you just met. You see how that is? That is the message, that your best friend gets a fraction of the energy you give someone you don't care about. You see how like it hurts. It hurts so bad to be on the receiving end of this, y'all. It hurts so bad. And once you've had this happen enough times, you learn really quickly to vet women immediately for their pick-me, where they are on the pick-me spectrum, right? Because again, we all have it in us on some level, even if like it's not even about men. But if you date men, it's a million times worse with men. Maybe not a million, because I've seen the way some women treat their sons. But that honestly is the number one thing I'm looking for when I am making friends. And by the way, I will always continue to make friends. I'm never set. People move, people become parents, and then they're just not as available. Stuff happens. We grow and learn. So we should normalize always making effort to make new friends. None of us have, I don't think, I've never met any really where it was healthy, have like the Friends, the TV show, have that experience. This is not how it works. It's not realistic. Okay, again, I'm cutting out their name. I don't know. Will y'all please let me know whenever you do this? If you don't want me saying your name, make sure you tell me, because I want to give you like a first name shout out, but I also, I don't know. I really try to protect people's privacy. My BFF didn't come to my baby shower because her boyfriend had a karate tournament. Baby shower, karate tournament. Celebration of possibly dying and entering a whole new life. A whole new, like literally, a baby shower is like a funeral. I mean, that sounds terrible. But you're grieving your old life. Sorry, let me move that so you can look at my dog. He's like, totally was bad. See, he's setting a boundary with me. Good for you. But I hate baby showers, honestly. I hate them. But I've been to a few that were awesome, and they were about like, let's celebrate this moment, this transition into a whole new, as Anthony would say, level to the video game, right? There is no returning fully. It's grieving your child-free life and entering a new one. And if you don't grieve that, then it's probably going to be really hard to adjust. So this is a big moment. But I'm sorry, he's got to do karate. He's got a karate tournament. Probably has plenty of those. Okay. Ugh. I didn't go to her wedding because she didn't invite my long-term boyfriend who was in drunk cars and caused my car accident. The wedding was after my car accident. In our 25 years of best friendship, we have hit some rocky roads, and about a year later, I came to my senses and left him, and we were closer than ever, or as close as we were as children. See, I love this story. You know why? Because I do think that we wake up, right? And you know, and again, like this was happening with both of them, right? But I do, you know, if I was close friends with someone and then they just would not deal with their codependency and their centering of men, I would take a step back. But if they came to me and were like, and they seemed really genuinely remorseful, and I saw a change and I've changed, like I have seen this happen in real time. Falling outs, they go, they grow, they change, they come back and stronger than ever. I love this story. I do think that going no contact sometimes for people is the best way, but I will never say that that is always the best way. Because I don't believe in the punitive, harsh, rigid rules approach to anything. I believe we're all growing and learning here. And I believe about when there's sincere regrets and it's followed with consistent action. I am willing to forgive if that's the case. And the reason being is because I have been given that grace too. So, but some situations, you cut them off, don't talk to them again, and that's also fine. It's very nuanced, okay? You do you. It's all contextual. So here's another, and this is what I've been thinking about. The way women in my life have abandoned me and the women in their life have abandoned them for men because they center men. There was a really lovely story there, but I don't have time to go into. I just want to point out in this one, this is setting a bad precedent to let this guy think that you're available to go away at the drop of a hat, right? Because that's the thing. This was last minute. So my guess is she just started dating this dude, and then at the last minute, he invites her on a vacation. Y'all, I'm telling you, sometimes these men are testing you. This is like the vacation version of a booty call. If a dude calls you at 11 and is like, let's hang out. Let me tell you something. He does not see you as girlfriend material. And most men have very separate categories, okay? No man who really, really wants to build a relationship with you is going to call you at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night and be like, hey, are you free? Can I come over? Booty call! This is the vacation version of booty call. Okay, and this is from a very regular comment. I don't know if I can say your name, but you know I love your comments. This would be unforgivable. I've spent years being the person who gives more in friendships, who tries to get together, stay in contact, etc. I'm still working on making these strong connections that I want. This would be and should be unforgivable. Too many women consider cultivating friendships something to do when they're single or bored. That's the key word right there. When they're bored. There is nothing more insulting than a woman who wants to hang out with you because no man will ask her out that night and she's bored. And because she doesn't know how to be alone. A lot of women need to work on that. I had to work on that. That's why dating yourself, really loving your own company instead of running from yourself into relationships. Because again, the way men will run, when men will run away from themselves, and their escapism oftentimes takes the form of addictions and, climbing and doing all these things and whatever, or drugs or blah, blah, blah. Not saying that women don't do that too. But it seems like a lot of women's escapism is into relationships. And we have more to lose. So if you're bored by yourself, unless you're just alone way too much, in which case, yeah, okay, get out. But cultivate your friendships. Don't go and date. Not yet. But calling a friend and only hanging out when you're single and bored, it's the worst, y'all. And those of us who are single, I was single until 42, okay? I can sniff this out so fast. Okay, after that long, after 30 years, 30 years is almost my entire existence. After that long, you're closer than family. Exactly, 30 years. Liz and I are going on 20 years, and I can't imagine my life without her. She's been with me almost half my life, right? And even though my family is my family, but Liz knows me probably better than anyone other than my husband. Because even my family still sees me through a certain lens, right? Although I'm super close with my sister and she knows me, but they still see me in the context of youngest sister, right? Anyway, she probably didn't even tell this man she had plans, but if she did and he let her cancel, he's not a real one. Oh, there you go. A man, if she told this dude that she had plans and he was cool with her canceling instead of being like, no, it's okay, we'll do it another weekend, that is a huge red flag. Yes, thank you. I would have missed that. He's going to string her along, cheat, or something. It won't be quality because loyal people don't encourage disloyal actions. Oh, God. This is gold. Y'all write this down. The worst part is I can't remember how she phrased it, but she won't even own up and apologize. I guess it wouldn't ring true since she's canceling, but she feels this is justified and acceptable. She really is trying to present her friend as as overreacting. Exactly. She is literally trying to make it be like, I don't know, what do I do? How do I make her forgive me? Because she's being crazy. You know how we've been called crazy? That's what she's doing. She's being crazy. It doesn't end well, y'all. When she's a male identified, it has probably took months to coordinate this, and it might be a year or more till they can get together. Yeah, actually, I don't know if this is a beach holiday, just day of the beach. Either way, this is also a possibility. But either way, 3 decades, y'all. All of that over a dude who probably doesn't even like her. And yeah, someone else pointed out, canceling the day up. That, I also meant to point that out. That is so rude. Now this friend of yours, it's the canceling part, but it's what is she going to do? How long did you know about this? Why didn't you tell her sooner? What the hell? If you had told her sooner that you were ditching her, she could have made other plans. She could have invited someone else. Now you've not only shown her that you prioritize this dude and hurt her feelings and jeopardized your friendship, you also ruined her weekend. I mean, whatever. She'll probably figure it out. But like that part would piss me off. No time to find something else to do or invite someone else because maybe all her other friends are busy now because it's so last minute. Rude! And like they say, she could end up losing the boyfriend and the friendship. And also this dude may lose respect for her. And this last reminder that everybody, it's the first time he finally wants to spend that much time with her. Everybody needs to drop everything because King Baby is showing a little more interest in this little second class citizen. Which brings back to life. Like literally, she is creating this. He's probably already this, but she's creating this because all these men are on the King Baby spectrum. That's what patriarchy did to him. Anyway, I love that feedback. I'm going to be doing these regularly. If you want to join the club and be able to respond and give me your reactions, especially because your stories and stuff that I may have missed, join the Patreon. That's the $17 and the $27 tiers have access to that. 7 is like my favorite number. That's why it's like 7, 17, 20. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you so much to the people who left those amazing comments and for sharing with me so that I can share. Please let me know if you want to be anonymous. I don't know. I'm paranoid. France has done this to me. In the US, I was like, hey, everybody, take photo. And here, everyone's like, no, and I was like, oh, right. I need people's consent. Privacy is important. So anyway, thanks for being here. Join the Patreon. Even if you can't afford to join the tiers, you'll be on the mailing list. And also you will get updates regularly just for free because I like to share. Mostly about what I'm doing in terms of videos and stuff. But sometimes I'll even drop like little travel things and just random stuff. So thank you for being here. Please comment, share, like, send to your friends, whatever. All this really helps me get this information out. It inspires me to keep going, and it helps me also get paid for all this work so that I can keep doing it. So thank you. Et voila.